Manchester City 4, Liverpool 1. And it's another depressing, toothless, embarrassing at the end of it defeat for Liverpool this season. When I saw the team sheets, I thought with Haaland being out, not even in the squad, maybe we've got a shot at this. Maybe City will struggle without that presence in the box. But it just didn't happen today. City lined up with a 4-2-3-1 formation in defence. And then pretty interestingly on offence, they went 3-2-2-3. With Stones, who was playing in centre-back on defence, actually moving into the double pivot with Rodri. And then Gundogan and De Bruyne playing ahead of them, making that box midfield that Pep loves. And Stones did pretty well in there, annoyingly. Showed good composure in the ball, played nice touches, he's a good passer. I mean, you think at times he was showing more ability on the ball than Fabinho and Henderson, unfortunately. Liverpool lined up with the standard 4-3-3 formation. Núñez had dropped to the bench there with Jota coming in. Núñez had a cut in his ankle, missed the international games for Uruguay last week. And surprisingly, when the game started, Liverpool were pressing high up the pitch. They were trying to press City's defenders on the ball. City actually had 4 centre-halves on the pitch. Ake, Akanji, Stones, and Diaz were all playing for City. And Liverpool did win the ball back a few times. There were a few transition moments. I was surprised to see it though, because as we all know, seeing Liverpool this season, whenever we've tried to press high, we just haven't had the energy, we haven't had the legs, we haven't had the ball-winning capability to actually make it worth doing. So I was very surprised to see us do it, especially against a City side who are as good as it gets for being able to play through a press. After maybe 10 minutes though, we did drop back a bit more with our forward line pretty much taking up the 2 pivot positions. Elliott would push up to cover Ake on the left-hand side. And then if Salah or Jota move forward to press the City defence, Henderson or Fabinho would move up to cover the double pivots of City. Of course, then though, at times City would break through it, and then you've got De Bruyne and Gundogan further up the pitch, and they'd be in space. But overall, first half, I mean, City dominated the ball first half. They were clearly the better side. Liverpool really struggled to play through City's press, which was really, really high. A lot of the time, we were trying not to play it forward, but it ended up being a lot of passes between Van Dijk and Alisson and Konate. We couldn't build through midfield at all. It was quite rare to see Henderson and Fabinho drop back to actually pick it up. And when they did, they often just played backwards. They weren't really able to progress forwards enough. So we were pretty sloppy on the ball, struggled to build play. But Liverpool did carry a threat on the counter. With City pressing so high forward, there were gaps behind, and that's how Liverpool scored their goal. Jota managed to break straight through the middle, space in behind, did really, really well, managed to lay the ball off to Salah, who was running in, first time finish with his left foot, right into the top corner to Ederson's right-hand side. It was an excellent finish, great goal, and it gave me some hope. I was thinking, okay, keep it tight at the back, play in the counter, don't do any silly mistakes, and maybe we can get something from this game. City continuously created half chances though, and to be honest, I wasn't shocked when they scored the equaliser. Robertson tried to nip in ahead of De Bruyne, didn't win the ball, critically didn't win the ball, and then Van Dijk had to come over, Konate comes over, City quickly switched the play to the other side, and then Grealish plays a first-time pass back into the centre. Alvarez finishes it off. It was a good goal, but it just shows the importance of, it's that knock-on effect of if you don't win a key challenge and you vacate your position, there's going to be a chain reaction throughout the defensive line, and City punished us for it. Before that goal, though, Liverpool could have made it 2-0. They had a really good counter-attack opportunity where Elliott plays a nice ball into space. Salah's acres of space on the left-hand side, and Jota's busting along to get in position in the centre. Salah, it looks like an easy pass across, and he would have had a great chance to make it too. But Salah takes his first touch out too far wide or too far ahead of him, and Grealish, of all people, manages to close the space and block the cross. It was a really good chance to make it too. And look, who knows, the game could have been different at that point. But it wasn't to be. Overall, at halftime, going in at 1-1, City were the better side, dominated the ball, but it was competitive. and Liverpool were still in it. And you're thinking, with the quick transition players that we have, and with Nunes on the bench in particular, if we can keep it solid at the back, keep it tight, we can get something from this game. But second half starts and it's throw it away immediately. Within a minute, City are ahead. And it was similar to the goal in the first half, except on the opposite side. This time Trent tries to press high up on the City defence. So he's out of position. Then Kanate has to come across the right back. Van Dijk comes across. City quickly switch the play to their right-hand side. And now suddenly Robertson's trying to cover Mahrez with De Bruyne completely open in the centre of the goal. And he makes it 2-0. So it's this, when you're going to have that aggressive press, you got to be able to win the ball at times. Otherwise, we leave too many gaps. You're giving the opposition the opportunity to just counterattack. But at 2-0, Liverpool just didn't come out in the second half like they were switched on. I mean, how many times have we said that this season? And 7 minutes later, the game's over. It was 3-1. Which is, I mean, it's so disappointing. It's something that we've seen over and over this season from Liverpool. And at 3-1, it never felt like we were going to get back into the game. Klopp ended up making 4 substitutions and he took off Salah at 3-1. And look, Klopp nearly never takes off Salah. So you know he was thinking about the Chelsea game on Tuesday. He probably thought that game was lost at 3-1, which it definitely turned out to be. But what does that say about us now? That with 30 minutes to go, it's 3-1, you're almost throwing in the towel. And the players played like that. They didn't play like they thought they could get back into this game. 3-1 became 4-1. Grealish got the 4th goal. And honestly, it could have been more at that point. We were probably lucky to get away with it just being 4. In terms of expected goals, City had 3.01 according to Understat. Liverpool had just 0.32 expected goals. And one of the major concerns is that out of that 0.32 XG that Liverpool got, after Salah's goal, they only accumulated 0.07 expected goals for the rest of that, 74 minutes. So they essentially carried no threat after the 16th minute, which is, I mean, it's just not good enough. City had 17 shots, Liverpool had 4 and just 1 on target. So Liverpool actually scored their only goal on target. On an average day, we wouldn't have gotten the score sheet at all. It could have been a 4-0 game. And it's crazy how quickly things change, because it wasn't so long ago that we played in the Charity Shield against City, beat them 3-1, went toe-to-toe with them, played a high line, were able to pass the ball through their press, were competitive all over the pitch and beat them. FA Cup, the end of last season, semi-final, went toe-to-toe with City and beat them. Now the gap looks huge. It looks like they're miles ahead of us. And I know people always say when things are going well, it's not as good as you think. When things are going poorly, it's not as bad as you think. But the gulf looks massive between these two sides. And the big question now is, you see Liverpool, they beat United 7-0, and you're thinking, okay, maybe we're just 2 or 3 players short. Add a couple bodies in that midfield, and that will have a knock-on effect on the forwards and the defence, and we'll be back to the Liverpool team that we know. But then you see games like this, games like against Real Madrid, and you feel like the team needs major surgery. That just all over the pitch we seem short. There's something foundationally wrong. There's something systemic wrong with the team. There's just been too many games where there's collapses. Like conceding 5 against City, conceding 4 against City, conceding 5 against Real Madrid, conceding 4 against Napoli, 3 against Brentford, 3 against Wolves, 3 against Brighton. I mean, the mentality of the side, which was our strength for so many years, just seems non-existent. We can't seem to cope with going behind anymore. Why is that? We used to praise the team because it felt like there were leaders all over the pitch. You've got Van Dijk, captain of Netherlands, Robertson, captain of Scotland, Henderson, massive character, Milner. But now, where are the characters? Where are the leaders? Who's standing up and playing better when we're behind? Seems to be the opposite now. That second half today was not competitive. City just did whatever they wanted with the ball. We couldn't get it off them. They played it around us. What's happened? It's going to be such a critical summer this year. They have to get it right in the transfer market. They really, really do. If we're going to get close to being title challengers again. And that's going to be the big question. Do we just need a couple players? Or do we need 5? Because sometimes it looks like it's 5, sometimes it looks like it's 2. And there's players like Fabinho who there's just huge question marks on. Is he actually on the decline now? Is he done? He's only 29, but it's been going on long enough that you have serious concerns about him. You look at Casemiro, though, for United. He's 31, he's Brazilian, he's having a great season. He's helped turn United around. So it's hard to know. Do we bet on Fabinho to turn it around, or do we replace him? Because if you had just seen Fabinho this season, you would be thinking, how is this player in the starting 11 every week? He plays like he has no right to be on performance. In that second half, City had all the ball. He's meant to be our destroyer in midfield, winning the ball back. Did he even get near anybody? This was going to be a huge week for Liverpool. Playing City, Chelsea and Arsenal in about 8 days. I mean, it's the worst possible start to that run. Confidence is going to be low going into the Chelsea game. And what is this going to mean for top 4? If we don't get results in these next 2 games, we could be out of the top 4. And what will that mean? What will that mean for the transfers this summer? Does that mean Jude Bellingham is off the table? Because we seem to be putting all our eggs in that basket. We better have some damn good replacements or some other good alternatives if we cannot get Jude Bellingham, because this team needs a lot of work. And I think the coaching staff and Klopp, they need to be so clear on how they want to play and getting that correct profile to be able to deliver on that type of style. Because right now it just feels like there's a mismatch. The players don't seem capable of delivering on what the coach is saying. And you see Klopp at the post-match press conference, and he seems really downbeat. We've seen him a few times like this season. I get the sense that the players aren't delivering on his messages, and he's just wondering why. Our play with the ball has dropped off massively this season. But off the ball, I mean, it's day and night. We just don't put in enough challenges. We're so passive. We seem like we're just standing there watching players play around us. Can't do that in the Premier League. It's going to be a massive summer for Liverpool in the transfer market. What did you make of Liverpool's performance today? What do you think went wrong for the Reds against City today? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.